Hey, what's up? This is Ross, and this is my first christening video for my group, made especially for my group. Now, this will not go in my other group, the game and film reviews, which you can join as well. That's done by my friend Adrian and Chris. So if you want to go in that group, you just put in game and film reviews, and that's pretty much what that group is about. This is just for my group, Ross's movies and reviews. And so what we're going to do today is, he is 60 years old this year. The King of Monsters, the Destroyer of Worlds. He has so many nicknames. Gojira. Yes, it is Godzilla. Alright. This right here is the original Godzilla. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the unexpected pleasant surprise that I got when I got this this version, okay? So, you open this up, and you have, of course, a little instruction booklet and a little sheet. And what do you get? Voila! Yep, you get Godzilla's head. You get his head, and you get what I didn't even realize, his head popping out of the Blu-ray sheet. So that is probably one of my coolest Blu-rays that I probably own. This is so awesome. Even if I get an upgrade, which I probably think will probably come out for its 60th anniversary, I'm going to keep this because this is just awesome. It has his head. Alright, now let's get to the review. Okay, in 1954, you had, of course, the day the Earth stood still. You had the War of the Worlds. But Toho, in Japan, thought, why don't we give people something that they've never seen before? Why don't we give something that would basically become infamous in the annals of movie monster history? Why don't we give people something and still keep that atomic edge to it, but give people something that is recognizable that they'll never forget? Obviously, up came the idea of Godzilla, a giant 400-foot tall abomination that came from the atomic age. And this movie was also made into a Japanese version, which was produced back in 1954, similar to what happened with Dracula, having a Spanish version and also having the American version. Godzilla has a Japanese version, and it also has an American version. Okay, the American version stars classic movie star Raymond Burr. Now, if you don't, I guess if you don't really know who he is, then you probably know that old courtrooms, the old courtroom drama that he used to star in. Forgive me if I don't know really what one that is, but my grandma and grandpa used to watch it all the time. It was kind of like a 1950s version of L.A. Law. And okay, so let's get back to Godzilla. Okay, so Godzilla is about 60 years old, and who knew from this one movie would come a history of 60 years in the making. Now, along that era, okay, in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 60s and the 70s, Godzilla would go through a numerous amounts of challenges and a numerous amounts of makeovers of different types of looks that Godzilla in the 60-year history would provide. And we still really haven't got a real glimpse of what the new Godzilla in the 2014 film would be, but we do know that from the previews, he's going to be very, very, very big. So, okay, this movie starts out in basically Japan and the island of Okinawa, which is basically our protagonist, Raymond Burr, lands over in Japan and suddenly is reported that his ship has been under attack. And what follows is that across the Japanese Sea, there are mysterious explosions of ships happening pretty much everywhere. And what happens is that most of the Japanese islanders, they know about this event and this occurring event, but Raymond Burr and some of the other people in Japan don't really understand what the hell's going on. The only ones that really do know what's going on are on the island of Okinawa. Alright, so what happens then is this mysterious problem gets researched by the foremost scientist, okay? But what we really wait for is the undoubted revealing of who really is the culprit of these massive attacks. And it is none other than Gojira, or better known here in America as Godzilla. He is basically woken up from a terrible, I would assume a terrible, probably awakened by a terrible plague of man, that he just basically knows that men are on this, humans are on this earth, and since they are the basic culprits of what has transpired from his making, from his birth, that humans are foremost involved, Godzilla is extremely pissed. So what does he do when he sits there and awakens? Well, he scares the shit out of a bunch of people at first. He really doesn't attack. He basically slowly toys with people when he basically emerges and shows his head. So what we get is an island that has basically been under attack by nothing but a bunch of wind. But this wind wasn't made by nature. It was made by Godzilla's wrath. So, what happens next is that Godzilla, the next attack, is basically conjured up by the sea. He is under fire by the Japanese army, which pisses him off even more, and basically, now Godzilla is on the warpath. So he basically comes up out of the water and holds no bars. He is now ready to destroy everything in the city of Japan. So, he walks over everything. He destroys everything with his electrical heat ray. He destroys just about every single part of Japan, leaves it an incredible, insane rubble that we haven't seen since the atom bomb. So, now, in part 2, we're going to discuss exactly what they do to stop Godzilla, and exactly why he is attacking the city of Japan. Basically, it's pretty much the same reason I said, because he is pissed that people have basically made him into this creature of hatred, and now he is bent on getting revenge on mankind. So, join me in the next video, and we will discuss further about Godzilla.